This is Wadu TV. Truth and integrity.
Ya mama kwa bajume na body TV suni. Paul Adom Otchere eye djuma wo Metro TV na Good Evening Ghana wono no host. Woni mi se after se Kufuor ekoka se Ghana fon to abama ba o me no no ojidi se betime de Ghana kobosha asase so no. Amafo bia Kufuor se bonimu a se no munsi di na tem na wote hwiche mu na den na brante de labi se akwala awunyi ebe ye nyansani no akwala nyansani unyi be panyi nyansani no yewo akwala chimifo a wono so timnyi be ye panyi he wotimi kasa se mo echire Kufuor na wo de laws hwan ye nya politics but at least panyi dia wo ye panyi obi anim na wiye ebia ne Kufuor ti hwiche mu ebia hwiche no kra wontim undu sa time no mpo eya asem na meka nte ya yenhwia no kase yi na dia Paul Adom Otchere ye no benu no Paul atutu bi dia manene pa wache se Kufuor asemo kan ensesen kamanfo atwa na mesi bone na so sabrante na de na waye na die enya kra na mepese yeko na yekohwe Paul Adom Otchere and some of our cardiac fine people who saw what say MPP and the only thing I Ghana for here.
Movements, they always look down on us one way or the other. The charismatic movement, they always look down on us. They say that you people, your pastors are small boys, and they didn't go to school, and they didn't go to university, and they didn't go to sixth form, and you go to a church where the pastors are small boys. Some even said that I don't go to a church that I'm older than. So these churches were born in the early 80s, the earliest one, the late 70s, all in the early 80s. So all the folks born in the 70s and 60s said they would not attend the church. The church was looked down upon because it looked like it didn't have caliber. The charismatic movement was looked down upon because it looked like it didn't have caliber. Enter Dag Heward-Mills, the medical doctor who had taken a prize in pediatrics at his graduation at medical school, son of a famous politician, didn't look like he needed bread, didn't look like he needed a career, didn't look like he needed a profession. He took up his Bible and he said, I'll serve the Lord Jesus. And I'll set up a church called the Lighthouse Church. Now, that gave credibility to the charismatic church. Now, since Dag Heward-Mills, no one has said anywhere that the charismatic church is made up of riffraffs and is this. And Dag didn't come alone. Dag came with a huge professional base. E.A.T. Saki, lawyer, called to the bar, barrister at law, solicitor at the Supreme Court of Ghana. He wasn't looking for a career. He wasn't looking for a job. He took up the Bible and he said, I'll follow the Lord Jesus and I'll work with Bishop Dag. And then came the rest, Kakrabedin, everyone else from the Lighthouse and setup. Now, when we went to the Lighthouse Church, it was full of doctors and lawyers. Now, Dag Heward-Mills was able to take the message of the cross into those people who were educated, as educated, quote unquote. And so I always salute Dag Heward-Mills for giving the charismatic church the credibility that they got. And after that, no one, those of you who are younger, you never heard it. But those of us who are old, we used to hear it, that the charismatic church is made up of people who didn't go to school. As soon as Dag Heward-Mills came in, nobody said that. Today, Dag has moved another step forward. We know that all of us in the charismatic church, the faithfuls of Otabil, the faithfuls of Duncan Williams, we are all grappling with this succession plan. What is going to happen? Pastor Otabil is 60, a little over 60 now. In 40 years, Pastor Otabil will be 110. Perhaps he will not be able to preach again. What's going to happen to the church? All the succession plan thinking has been going on. Tonight, I was delighted to see this on social media, post from the Lighthouse Church. I like to read it. Forgive me, viewers, this is not politics. I'm just digressing from my politics to pay tribute to a bishop that I completely admire. Here it is. Bishop Dag Heward-Mills unveils new constitution of Lighthouse and announces retirement for pastors as part of the new constitution. It says as follows. So those of you who are in any of the Lighthouse denominations who haven't seen this, I like the First Love Church, where Joshua is, lawyer Joshua. You know him, right? He's my man. I like that First Love. And Joshua is always managing First Love and engaging people, reaching out to people. He does an excellent job, Joshua Heward-Mills. But this is the story. The founder and presiding bishop of the United Denominations, originating from the Lighthouse Group of Churches. Now they call it UDOLGC, formerly called the Lighthouse Chapel International. Bishop Dag Heward-Mills, in a recent message this November, announced a new constitution for the church. Few years ago, the name of the church was changed from Lighthouse Chapel International to UDOLGC, and the name of the campus church was changed from First Love Church to United Organization of First Love Churches. Okay, in the most recent developments, the churches were subcategorized and organized for effective and efficient administration at different levels. The most striking aspect of the new constitution is the introduction of the retirement age, which was not part of the church system initially. The retirement age was pegged at 60 years old. Bishop Dag Heward-Mills indicated that the church needs strong and agile people to run it effectively and efficiently, and not old and weak people. However, Bishop Mills and other senior bishops, about 8 in number, particularly the ones that started the ministry with him in the early years, have been exempted from retirement. These category of bishops will serve till death. The bishops exempted from retirement are Bishop Dag Heward-Mills, Bishop E.A.T. Saki, we salute Bishop Saki, Bishop Eddie Adi, Bishop Edwin Ogo, Kakrabedin, used to be in Sakumono back in the day, and Bishop Zach Ntifo, among others. Okay, the 8 bishops exempted from the retirement now have the approval to run what is now termed the new independent stand-alone churches called NISAC. NISAC are churches that bishops in charge are free to run independently without undue influence from UDOLGC administration. These bishops report directly to Bishop Dag Heward-Mills and not to any other person or organ in the church. That's Bishop Dag Heward-Mills. Bishop, we salute you. Continue to build a real solid foundation for the body of Christ and for the message of salvation and the message of the cross. You know, Bishop Dag calls himself an evangelist. That's what he is. Recently, I saw photographs of him in Madagascar. My goodness, my goodness. I was talking to Bishop Dag Heward-Mills, I believe in one of the election years, 2016, I think. And he was telling me how he had traveled across the country on this crusade, and he has felt the pulse of the people. He didn't say anything political, but he was telling me that when you go around the country, you have a completely different view of the nation. You sit in Accra, it's different. You go around the country, it's different. I had gone to a jog. I usually would run in the morning on Saturdays at the University of Ghana. And I was running on that Saturday morning. I saw a huge truck at the Legon Hall, the park behind an XB, Legon Hall and XB. And it was a lighthouse truck. I'd never seen it before. I was delighted. So I went in there, and Bishop Dag was there, and we spoke, and we were talking and all that. That's Bishop Dag. He says that he is a son of the Archbishop. He says it himself, and the Archbishop says it too. He used to play the organ in the Archbishop's church. Thank you, Bishop Dag, for this effort, and the charismatic church will be stronger for it. All right. Now, let's get to the politics. Alan Kojo Chemartin has said something. But Alan Chemartin's talk is... Let me pause for them to take this off, because sometimes when you watch the social media, then I'm talking about something and the photograph behind me has not yet changed. But now it's changed. It's come to Alan, the man of the moment. I have seen the Alan video. I was sad when I saw it because I know Alan Chemartin. I know his relationship with John Kufuor. I know how much John Kufuor wanted to promote Alan Chemartin. I know how much John Kufuor has endorsed Alan Chemartin. There's no Alan Chemartin without a John Kufuor. It is John Kufuor who promoted Alan Chemartin. From the days of Empretech, it was John Kufuor who made Alan Chemartin Ghana's ambassador to the United States at the turn of the century. That was significant. A new American government has come. The Republicans are taking over the White House again. The Republicans had not been in the White House since Clinton. And everything was changing in the world. Millennium bug had come around. The year 2000 was exciting for everybody. We're in a new century. We're in a new epoch. Technology was coming big in the world. America was very, very important. Everything was happening in America. George W. Bush, the son of George Bush, had become president of the United States. America was in the middle of a war. They had done the Iraq war. Everything was turning, and America was in the middle. John Kufuor decided that I'm also new president of Ghana. John Kufuor was beginning to lead this new African renaissance of genuine democratic leaders himself. Chief Obasanjo, they were supported by Hosni Mubarak. Thabo Mbeki was in South Africa. Everything was great for Africa. In those circumstances, John Kufuor said Alan Chemartin should go and be the ambassador in America. Alan Chemartin went to be ambassador, but that's when people who didn't know him from Adisada Lachimota and family, all of us who didn't know him, that's when we heard about him. that, oh, Kufuor had appointed some brilliant young man to Washington to be our ambassador. He was in Washington, he wasn't quite happy with it, he wanted to come down. Again, Kufuor obliged. What did Kufuor do? Kufuor removed a stalwart in parliament, Kofi Kunadu Apreku, member of parliament who had been a stalwart of the MPP. He had been at the backside of, at the side of Professor Dubois to help him to work. And Apreku had been known in Ghana. Apreku was already a big name. Apreku was taken out of trade and Alanche Martin was given the job. Alanche Martin did the PSI, etc., etc. Not to say much about that. But in the year 2000's campaign, I was there. The MPP had to answer questions on PSI because the NDC was using it. That you did PSI and wasted money. Forget about all that. Then Alanche Martin was given significant support from Kufuor's castle in 2007. That's a dead story. Everybody knows that. The sitting president, John Ajekum Kufuor, was endorsing a candidate in his party. Something that he shouldn't do. In fact, he didn't even do it publicly. But he did it behind the scenes. Water has gone under the bridge. So we now all know what happened. But John Kufuor supported Alan behind the scenes because he's such a quintessential Democrat. He didn't want it to be obvious. He spoke to Akufo-Addo people as well, but everyone knew that Alan's campaign had been oiled by Kojo Mpianim. Kojo Mpianim, who is Kufuor's chief of staff, continues to speak for Alan. So there's no Alan Martin without J.A. Kufuor. Alan is nothing without J.A. Kufuor. Today, listen to what Alan Martin says about John Ajekum Kufuor. I'm completely shocked. Why? Does Kufuor own Alan Martin? Is Kufuor for Alan Martin? Is that Alan Martin's property? I don't understand it. Is John Kufuor Alan Martin's property? Is that his property? I don't get it. How can you be unhappy because the leader of the NPP has endorsed the NPP candidates? Is that not natural? And they're asking Kufuor to keep quiet. Alan Martin, what are you talking about? When you were running for presidential aspirant against Nana Addo Dankwa Kufuor, everybody knew that John Kufuor was supporting you. Nobody said anything because Kufuor has a right to choose who he supports in the party. That's the spirit of the NPP as I've seen it. They allow you to support whoever you want to support. People knew that Addo Dankwa Kufuor was supporting Mahamadou Bawumia. He didn't do it obvious. He didn't cut anybody's head. But he gave his support however he could to Alhaji Bawumia because he felt that if he is a delegate, he's going to vote Bawumia. Kufuor felt that if he's a delegate, he thought Alan Martin is better. So how can Alan Martin come today when there was an internal party contest where every party leader must remain neutral? It was clear that John Kufuor was backing Alan. Alan didn't find anything wrong with that. Alan finds something wrong with the MPP president. Kufuor had been delivered by the MPP to be president of Ghana. Without the MPP, Kufuor would not have been president of Ghana. Kufuor is a founding member of the MPP. Kufuor has been a founding member of the MPP since the NLM. And the MPP has a candidate for an election that looks like a difficult election. And John Kufuor comes out to endorse his party candidate, and Alan Martin is attacking him. And Alan Martin joins the ranks of the NDC. I was going to use a word for them, but I can't use it.
Lekwa oti hwiche mu a ye peja once ro akwa akotena WC so agya wonan no ye wi asase so obegu hwiche mu no mpo no still wo campaign ma MPP se ka che obi agini anya akwa nkwa na agini o
Nekra oti hwiche mu. I mean, what kind of politics is this? What kind of politics is this? And nobody from the National Democratic Congress is able to issue a statement. When Dr. Atabwatin, and please get the Pudon video for me. Let me know when you have it. When Dr. Atabwatin came to define 24-hour economy in the most ridiculous terms, they fired him from the party within 24 hours. Sami Jemfi occasioned a dismissal from the party communications ranks of Dr. Atabwatin because he came to a television studio in Kumasi and he completely botched whatever 24-hour economy was intended to mean. Atabwatin said it's about rearing animals and something put on in China, something completely horrendous. When Atabwatin said that, they fired him from the party. When this man speaks about John Kufuor in that manner, you don't fire him from the party. Nobody says anything. President John Dramani Mahama has said nothing. Vice presidential candidate Jenna Opoku-Agyeman has said nothing. Chairman of the party, please get me their photographs. I'll use it at the end. President John Dramani Mahama, Vice Presidential Candidate Jenna Opoku-Agyeman, Chairman of the party Johnson Asedun Ketia, General Secretary of the party Fifi Kwete, National Communications and Propaganda Secretary John Samuel Jemfi, and Director of Communications Omani Boama, Joyce Bawa Motgari. Get me their photographs and let me question them on the touch screen. Is that the kind of politics you want your children to learn? Is that the kind of politics that Asedun Ketia wants his children to learn? The politics of telling Kufuor that he sits on a wheelchair, they take him to the toilet, bring him back to the wheelchair, he should shut up and sit there. A 2-term president of Ghana, a former spokesperson for foreign affairs, a 2-term parliamentary member of parliament, 2-time MP for Ghana, and a very distinguished leader, Alan Chemati himself, says that Kufuor has a distinguished career. The leader who solved our constitutional crisis problem of coup d'etat, because we didn't believe in Rawlings' stability because we thought he's a soldier, he has control over it. We thought that the real test of our stability is when we have a non-soldier in the seat, what will happen? John Kufuor was able to show us that, and to steer Ghana away from military coups, he did a clear 2 terms, handed over to the opposition. Such a man, Alote Jacobs, goes to Kufuor's house to go and beg him about the things they say. And in 2024's election, John Kufuor conducts an interview and says, I am endorsing my party's candidate, and this is what this guy says about him. Show the guy. He's virtually calling the president foolish. Hey! I mean, I'm frightened. Let me know when you have the photographs of the gang of 7 that I mentioned. President John Dramani Mahama, Vice Presidential candidate, former President John Dramani Mahama, former Education Minister and Vice Presidential candidate Jane Opoku-Agyeman, who was unable to provide chalk. Chairman of the party, Johnson Asedun Katia. General Secretary of the party, Fifi Kwete, who had an abysmal career, who took Ghana's aggregate to negative. Fifi Kwete. No, I'll take it later. Get me all of them on the same line. I'll take it later. Jane Opoku-Agyeman is here. Then I want also in the same list Samuel Jemfi, the propaganda secretary of the party. They call him National Communications Officer. Dr. Mani Boama. Dr. Mani Boama is a Christian. He's a Catholic. He's an avowed Catholic. Dr. Mani Boama, I'm speaking to you. Is that something that you are happy about? You are happy about people calling Kufuor our grandfather, these kinds of names? Mani Boama, you are happy with this? Sami Jemfi, you are happy with this? It is an election, it's politics. You can win, you can lose. MPP can win, NDC can win. We are still one Ghana. We respect our elders. What? What is this? The Ghana Journalists Association, I think that they should issue a statement. The National Peace Council, they sit down and Kufuor is insulted like that, and it's fine, it's okay, nobody has a... What did Kufuor do that he says, I am endorsing my party's candidate? Really? And Alan Chemati joins this kind of thing? Alan Chemati didn't even condemn the insults that he has seen on social media. He has seen it. He actually joins the conversation to abuse the man who made you. The man who made Alan Chemati, you sit down and abuse him like that? That's what he has said. That he endorses Dr. Bawumia, his party's candidate, is a blot on his career. That's what Alan Chemati said. I don't believe it. I don't believe Alan Chemati said that. Well, we know in this country when J.J. Rawlings mounted a campaign platform in 2008 to support Professor Mills's campaign. Did anybody find anything wrong with that? J.J. Rawlings, the founder of the NDC, he went around the country in 2008 campaigning for the NDC candidate. Did anybody find a problem with that? In 2012, J.J. Rawlings campaigned for the NDC candidate John Dramani Mahama. Campaign, not just endorse, campaign for the NDC candidate. 2008, Mr. Rawlings campaigned for Mills. Did anybody find anything wrong with that? This is not the first time John Kufuor has been campaigning. In 2016, he was on the platform. He campaigned for Nana Akufo-Addo. Kufuor on MPP campaign team demonstrates united front. This Professor Kobi Mensah talking. This Akufo-Addo and this is Mahamadou Bawumia and John Kufuor. What is the problem with that? My concern is not about the two, I don't know what word to use for them. Here's another one. Jimmy Carter votes in Georgia, fulfilling wish to live long enough to cast a ballot for Kamala Harris. This is Jimmy Carter, former president of America, endorsing his party. This is former President Bill Clinton campaigns for Harris walls in Western Pennsylvania. This is not just endorsement, it's campaigning. They are campaigning for their party's candidate. Is that not very basic? Is that not to be expected? It's to be expected. John Kufuor campaigned for his party's candidate. And then when he campaigns, they say about him that they take him from which he'll take him to the toilet and bring, oh my goodness. And everybody is watching this. It's okay?
Before.
Ebe. Dr. Bawumia has been endorsed worldwide as one of the most effective vice presidents of this Fourth Republic. Father Campbell is not a Ghanaian. He's a Catholic priest. He endorses Bawumia's work as a vice president. Franklin Kujo, he's not a politician, NDC, MPP. He's civil society. He endorses Bawumia's work. Everybody endorses Baumia's work. Alan Kyerematen hasn't seen it. But Alan, compare yourself to Bawumia. You are trade minister. Bawumia was deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana. You have been trade minister for 2 terms. He's been vice president and a very, very successful vice president. Alan cannot compare himself to Dr. Bawumia in any way. Maybe he's older than Dr. Bawumia, that's it. But what has Alan Kyerematen done that he's talking about Dr. Bawumia? Dr. Bawumia is deputy governor of the central bank. He has been vice president, an effective one. He has a PhD in economics. He's demonstrated his work. Dr. Bawumia was hired by the AFDB to go and help Zimbabwe. Has Alan Kyerematen forgotten? Please remind Alan Kyerematen. Has he forgotten? Dr. Bawumia was taken by the African Development Bank as an economist with a good brain to go and help Robert Mugabe's Zimbabwe get out of the doldrums of inflation and currency depreciation and all of those economic difficulties. The quagmire, the economic quagmire that Zimbabwe found itself in. The African Development Bank thought that Mahamudu Bawumia is the one to rescue Zimbabwe. Mahamudu Bawumia is a Ghanaian, he's not a Zimbabwean. What is Alan Kyerematen talking? Where is his record? He show us one record. Cassava record. Alan Kyerematen should not let us talk about him. We love him. He should stop that. What record is he talking about? He's comparing himself to Mahamudu Bawumia. Alan Kyerematen. What is he talking about? Does he think we are sleeping? Well, maybe he and his campaign people are sleeping. We are not sleeping, but we love them. And it's very, very important that we... Kyerematen cannot compare himself to Bawumia in achievements. Take Kufuor out, take Kufuor out. Put Alan Kyerematen and Bawumia down. What has Alan Kyerematen done in Ghana that is better than what Bawumia has done? I mean, what is he talking? What can Alan Kyerematen point to? What is he going to say? He's going to say that I did an automobile under Kufuor's government, 1 district, 1 factory. I did cassava under Kufuor's government. Mahamudu Bawumia, vice president, brought the digitalization. President Akufo-Addo himself acknowledges that this has been an effective vice president. Everybody in Ghana sees that this has been an effective vice president. Forget about vice president. African Development Bank carried Mahamudu Bawumia to Zimbabwe. The chief, come and help. But at that time, Bawumia had never been vice president. He had only been a deputy governor of the central bank, and that's all the AFDB, that's all the record they had about him. Well, he had taught in Canada, he had taught in Oxford. And that's Bawumia's record. How can Alan Kyerematen compare to Bawumia's record? Even the two of them comparing, Alan Kyerematen does not compare to Bawumia's record. But we love Alan Kyerematen, don't we? But is that how he should treat the love that we have for him? To use the love we have for him to denigrate our godfather? I can't understand this. And people are watching. And the MPP minister said that somebody was sleeping in cabinet. The MPP ministers, they said, oh, somebody was always sleeping in cabinet. They said somebody was sleeping in cabinet all the time. 2018, 2019, somebody was sleeping in cabinet. The MPP ministers have told me. They've told other journalists that somebody was sleeping in cabinet all the time. Now, what Alan Kyerematen just said is more frightening. Is he suggesting, Alan, that he endorses the insults of President Kufuor? Is he suggesting that? Is that what Alan Kyerematen is suggesting? That Kufuor deserves the insults he's getting? He's almost saying that. Play that. So, Alan is suggesting that the Kufuor has endorsed Bawumia and therefore it brings a blot on his image and that people are going to be attacking him. He's asking the host of the program, have you not seen how people are attacking President Kufuor? That's what he's asking the host of the program. So Alan Kyerematen endorses the horrendous, what word shall I use? I don't want to use those words. The very inappropriate, indecent language that has been used against President Kufuor. Alan Kyerematen says, President Kufuor, he's happy that this Hunto gentleman, the young man called Hunto, sitting on original radio, is able to say the things about Kufuor that he's saying. And Alan Kyerematen is suggesting to us tonight that Kufuor has brought these things upon himself. I mean, this is the lowest for Alan Kyerematen. Such a distinguished man. This is the lowest. Is that how politics can? Is that how when you are not winning politics, this is how you behave? Then I don't want to go to politics and not win. Is this how when you are not winning you behave? Is it some disease? Is it a disease? Alan Kyerematen is suggesting that these words, and I'm going to show you to you in a minute, used by Hunto, is appropriate because Kufuor has brought it upon himself. Because Kufuor endorsed the candidate of his party. Is that what Alan Kyerematen is saying? Listen to Hunto again and tell me whether Alan Kyerematen watching this thinks that his uncle, who is being denigrated by this unwarranted young man, is correct because he has endorsed Mahamudu Bawumia. Listen to that.
thank God that Dr. Bawumia knows how to honor. Honor.
All right, that's Adenta Kumi. We'll be calling him to talk to him tonight. He's on the campaign trail. Alan Martin, this is about you. This is about how, instead of checking your background and building the people around you and working with them, Kwabene Japan was your campaign manager in 2012. I've had conversations with him. He's told me certain things I can't repeat here. I don't have his permission to repeat them. But he told me his experience with the Alan situation in 2012. Why he's no longer on the Alan campaign trail. Kwabene Japan is on Baumia's campaign trail. Adenta Kumi, who was supporting you in Adenta, has left you and is joined Mahamadou Baumia's campaign trail. 500 young men left the movement and joined Baumia's campaign trail. That's what should be worrying Alan Martin's mind. Nano Hininto, where are you? What is happening to our man? Nano Hininto, are you there? The former distinguished general secretary of the party, the man who inspired all of us as young people to be journalists. Nano Hininto, what is happening? What is happening to our man? What is happening to Alan Martin? Why is he doing this? Is he endorsing the insults that they are heaping on John Kufuor? Why is Alan Martin doing this? He should focus on his campaign. He's Asieho on the ballot. He has inherited Kufuor's Asieho. He should continue and campaign and hope that he gets a lot of votes. I don't know whether he'll get votes or not, but it's open. It's an open election on December 7th. 14 million people are going to cast their ballot. Alan Martin must convince them that he must vote for him. What is this? What is this embarrassing situation? Let's take the text messages, and then when we get a phone call, we'll take it so that we don't lose time. I think I'd like to start with Fatih. Is it correct? Should I start with Fatih? Okay, Fatih, what are people saying?
And he says, as for the NDC and their communicators, this is normal for them. I'm just shocked and surprised about Alan John Kufuor trying hard to rubbish President Kufuor and his endorsement of Dr. Bawumia. What did he, Alan, say when the president's influence and the government's machinery were used to support him on his bid to lead the NPP for the 2008 elections? He was okay with it then, but sees everything wrong with the former president endorsing his opponent of his party. Lily Will says, I'm so sad and angry. Ghanaians should reject the NDC again. What did Kufuor do wrong that warrants all of this insults and disrespect from the NDC and Alan? Francis Wine says, NDC communicators, please, do you have elders in your party? How do you insult a former president of the Republic of Ghana campaigning for his own party? Did he even say something wrong against your party? Truly, a lot of things don't add up in your party. Please, the respected elders in NDC should come out and render an apology to President Kufuor and Ghanaians. Mahami Adam says, Alan John Kufuor today know that things have turned long ago, and unfortunately, he's worsening his cases by attacking John Agyekum Kufuor. Bawumia is winning, and no more of bitterness overturn the lost wish. Alan didn't know that things have turned long ago. Master Planner Gina says, I least expected such comments from Alan Martin. Why is he behaving like being a president of a party is a birthright? To become a president in Ghana, you show working before earning it. You build your base and grassroots, starting from your mother constituency, and then empower major stakeholders in the party. Let me pause and ask this question. Which constituency is a stronghold for Alan, and where does he even vote? We don't have short memories. We still remember what happened in 2007 when the then President Kufuor was about finishing his second term of office, and the NPP needed to select a new presidential candidate. Alan was Kufuor's favorite, and he could use presidential flights for his campaigns against Nanado, but Nanado never complained to the public. Today, the daddy's boy is crying foul because his father has endorsed the endorsed one. The butterfly's lifetime is long overdue. And lastly, from Dashtin Kony says, Alan Kufuor is very brilliant man professionally, but his ambitions to become a president of Ghana has taken over his entire wisdom, which is making him more frustrated every single day. I'm not surprised at his aggressions towards former President Kufuor because he was expecting his support, but what he did not know was that President Kufuor is someone who puts party first, because without the party, he wouldn't have become the president. Now to you.
All right, so from Sid Biko, he's saying, Jennifer, we celebrate you. Francis Mensah is saying, Alan has expired in becoming president. Isaac Headline says, Jennifer, you are blessed. We have Wilson Ofer saying, it's unfortunate Alan got it all wrong. Was he expecting ex-President Kufuor to endorse the butterfly? Why is Alan accusing Dr. Bawumia and ex-President Kufuor? Such an inglorious conspiracy. Freeman Akpabli says, Paul, the more you show the video, the more I become annoyed. So please stop showing the videos. Billy Wills is saying, Ghanaians should angrily vote against the NDC. We should teach them a lesson. This politics of insults needs to end. From Ahmed, he says, I'm highly disappointed in Alan's utterance. We also have Peter Brown saying, Alan is an ungrateful butterfly. From Ahmed, he's saying, his outburst is logically pathetic. Ebenezer Otchere is saying, you are totally right, and I was really shocked. Kofi Nat says, Paul, please, we are at the critical moment towards the election. So we want full-time politics and not these church people. Lastly, from Kofi Nat again, he says, Alan Tremantin is an ungrateful human being. Back to you, Paul.
Do we have a phone call? Let's take Adenta Kumi for a little bit. Hello, Adenta Kumi.
Hello, Tia. Good evening.
How are you? Where are you speaking to us from?
Sir, I'm back to base. I'm back to Kumasi. Today, following the Vice President's convoy, we were at the 3 Ahafon constituency.
What do you make about Alan Tremantin's complaints and concerns?
Can you come again?
What do you make of Alan Tremantin's concerns about President Kufuor endorsing Mahamudu Bawumia? You worked with him for a little bit. What do you make of it?
Well, I think that, first of all, it's hearing that from Alan, I was very disappointed because President Kufuor has the right to be a godfather to the people of his party. That's very important, one. And it just reaffirms one of the reasons why I personally left the movement for change and decided to come back to my party. If you quite remember, I decided not to say anything that would degrade the Honorable Alan Tremantin or that would show disrespect to him. Because there's this core principle that I believe that what you honor is what you become. What you dishonor, you forfeit. These are things I learned from the Archbishop. And I knew that vindication is in the womb of time. It will only take time for people to clearly see why some of us decided not to follow him again. Everybody has a choice. And President Kufuor has a choice that he had to make. And someone asked me, was Alan expecting that President Kufuor would campaign for him when he wasn't in the MPP? There is a machinery that took President Kufuor to where he got to. And he will never dishonor that machinery. And that's what some of us we thought about and realized that if President Kufuor has not even left the party, how dare we leave the party? So all these things that are happening, it just tells you about character. When you have the opportunity to character assassinate someone and you find the person in the most vulnerable place and you do it, it tells more about your character. It's not about what he said now, but it's about when he said it. Senior, it's not about what Alan has said about President Kufuor, but it's about when he said it. It could have been, I believe, like in every situation, you decide to be bitter or better. And he could have been a better person.
So we are getting the Godfrey Dami story. Belkisu is here. A lot more to say. But tomorrow, there's an important conversation coming up. The Ministry of Education has begun launching the 80 schools. And I'm trying to remember the name.
Kwasi.
Kwasi Kwati.
Yes.
Kwasi Kwati is here in the studio. to share with us what happened yesterday, what's happening today, what happened yesterday, what's happening today, and what's happening the next day. Kwesi, over to you. We are commissioning 80 schools as a nation.
Yes, 80 educational projects will be commissioned on Thursday, 21st of November 2024. Of course, it's part of the broader government's initiative to increase access at the same time ensure that there is quality. It began just last Monday where we started the district level commission. That was largely led by some district chief executives who began the district level commission. Of course, as the day goes by, hopefully on Thursday we should have the president lead the main commissioning. So we have about 80 projects that has been earmarked. We are looking at projects.
Not all of them are not schools. Some are projects.
Yes, some are projects, but largely we are also having, for instance, if you go to Sewa, we have a school building. It's a newly constructed school. If you go to a place like Pasemkwe 2 has a newly constructed school. If you go to places like Jaben, it's a newly constructed school. If you come to Accra here, Weja, the beautiful school facing the is it a river or the river or the sea? The Weja. It's a lake rather. It's a lake rather. So Weja too, when you go, they also have a very beautiful structure. It's also a new school, of course. I mean, we also look at existing structures where there were also some level of expansion in existing structures. The basic schools level were also not neglected. So, I mean, it's a story to tell. For instance, if you go to school like St. Barnabas, it's just an awesome scene.
I understand the president is going there tomorrow.
Yeah, the president will be Thursday. The president will lead the commissioning. He will be at St. Barnabas. The vice president will also be at Pasemkwe. But the interesting part is that, I mean, we are doing an evidence-based communication. So we are going to take feed from each of the sites and show to Ghanaians that this is what we have been able to achieve. And when we talk about education as a fulcrum for socio-economic transformation, largely we are looking at access, we are looking at quality, and of course quality also requires that you put up good structures.
You guys have done amazing. I mean, this has never happened in Ghana before. So you're saying that Tuesday when we gather here, we will be able to say, no, next week Tuesday when we gather here, we will be able to say that last week, 80 educational facilities were commissioned across the country.
In a day.
Are you serious?
Most importantly, you have to add in a day so that it becomes quite historic. Because we have been doing a lot of commissionings. But to organize 80 commissions in a day for me makes it quite historic.
Wow. Have you been able to have some sleep over the last 3 days?
I mean, backstage I was sleeping. When they came to call me, I was sleeping. I asked them to do me a makeup because I look so tired and stressed.
You guys have done amazing.
Yes. It's because of the man we are working with. I mean, he doesn't sleep. Yeah, Dr. Osei, he doesn't sleep. So if your boss is not sleeping, definitely you have no moral right to even think of sleep.
Wow. This is... Hey. So what's happening in East Legon? Someone commissioned something in East Legon?
East Legon, a phase is ready. But we spoke to the consultant in charge, and the assurance he gave is that by 1st of December, it's also going to be ready. So on the 1st of December, we are also going to have another series of commissioning going on. On the 1st of December.
What do we have on the screen here? Can you show on the TV so he can talk about it? Show it on the TV. Yes, what do we have here?
Yeah, this one is a building in Ashanti region. Sewa is a model junior high school. So this time around, this is how your junior high school is going to be.
This is beautiful.
Yes.
So all junior high schools will model like this?
Yes.
So what's the building on the right-hand side?
That should be
the one we can see the roof.
Yeah, I mean, we are also looking at not only the students, but the welfare of even the leadership, the school management, head teachers. Okay. They are also going to occupy those buildings, just annexing it.
They will occupy it as bungalows. They live there.
Yes. Because
and this is the student. It's a day school.
Yes, obviously. I mean, junior high.
Junior high, day. Okay. Wow. Chief, you have to come back on Tuesday and confirm that you have been able to do. Oh, what's this one? There's another one over here.
Yes, this is also a model junior high school. Yes. This is a model STEM school located at Awaso in the Western North region. But of course, okay, so this gives much clearer view. This is a model STEM school, STEM senior high school.
A boarding?
Yes, senior high school is a boarding.
Wow.
And interestingly...
This commissioned this week as well?
Yeah, it's being commissioned this week as well. Interestingly, we have 12 different laboratories.
12?
Yes, in this structure.
Science laboratories.
Science
12.
laboratories, yes, 12.
Wow. Wow. We'll leave you to go. We'll leave you to go and then we'll sort it out. We'll sort the rest out. Okay, viewers, we can't wait. We can't wait. The hero of free SHS that Adanko Kufuor, but he had some great lieutenants. Running mate Matthew Poku Prempe left the ministry and handed over to Osei Aduchum, who's done marvelous things. They used to say that David Ebeka, but this one will say it today. We'll say it tomorrow so people can see it. This is the Leonard Godfrey Adom Otchere, the hero of Article 88 of the Constitution. This is the first time as a journalist I have seen the Attorney General attend an arbitration and come back with $2 million to the government. I've never seen an Attorney General attend an arbitration. Maybe there is, but I don't know it. I've never seen an Attorney General attend an arbitration in London and bring back the government $2 million. That, hey, government, yes, $2 billion for you. The people who sued us for $3 billion, and we're calculating what it means in cedis today, $3 billion, they didn't succeed. And I brought you Ministry of Finance and Ministry of Trade. 2.2 million cost awarded against them. Let's quickly go and see what the tribunal said and why GCNet will not get any money from Ghana, but they have to pay money to Ghana, the arbitral award. Here it is. The tribunal unanimously decided that Ghana had validly terminated. Oh, wow. I love this. The tribunal had unanimously decided that Ghana had validly terminated the agreement on the 28th of April 2020 within the meaning of Article 11.3, and the termination was lawful. The tribunal also found that GCNet was the unsuccessful party in the arbitration and that Ghana had expended money and time in defending a claim that the tribunal has held to be ill-founded. It therefore ordered that GCNet shall pay a total of $2,185,983.21 to Ghana in legal fees. This is the award of the tribunal. Congratulations to all the people at the Attorney General's Department, especially the Leonard Attorney General Godfrey Adom Otchere, the deputies, the Honorable Leonard Tuya and the Leonard Dinah Asunaba Dapa. Here they are in the photo, the successful Ghanaian team. Oh, wow, don't we love them? They went all the way to London and told GCNet that you can go and bend the sea. We also know law. You are not going to intimidate us with anything international. We studied in Ghana. We didn't study at Harvard, but we will show you that we have studied the law. Godfrey Adom Otchere seated with Dinah Asunaba Dapa and the rest of the team. All of them were in London to defend the arbitration, and the Attorney General was very, very confident that they were going to win this case. I can imagine the delight of the Minister of Finance and the Minister of Trade. I'm sure the Minister of Finance was sitting on tenterhooks, hoping that he will not be told that he needs to cough up 3 billion Ghana cedis in the region of, how much is it looking? They are calculating it for me. Now, this is still the same arbitration. Trade Minister Katie Hammond, controversial Trade Minister, MP for Adanso Asokwa, and Member of Parliament that I thoroughly love, Katie Hammond, and Dinah Asunaba Dapa in the middle, Godfrey Adom Otchere over here. All of them went in to defend the arbitration stoutly with legal expertise generated and grown out of the University of Ghana. I mean, this is amazing. This is fantastic. If you are studying law at the University of Ghana, you should be proud of yourself. You can take that law international and nobody can intimidate you. They went all the way and they defeated all the lawyers, and the cost was awarded against GCNet. They brought all the international beautiful lawyers. They are beautiful lawyers, but we showed them that the law is the law. I'm delighted about this. Do you have a figure for me and how much in dollars we're going to claim? 118 million dollars, 750,000 is what GCNet were looking for. They got zero. And instead, they said they should pay the government 2.2 million. Wow. Wow. Now, I don't hear Eduji Tamaklo talking about this on his social media page. Tamaklo, where are you? Come and put it down that Attorney General saved government 2.2 million. The man that you people call dishonorable Attorney General, you call him Minister of Injustice. He's the one saving the taxpayers' money. What have you done? He saved the taxpayers' money. Godfrey Adom Otchere and his team, they saved the taxpayers' money. Look at Katie Hammond in his heart. Don't you admire him? This is beautiful. You feel proud as a Ghanaian when you see some of these things. It doesn't have to do with NPP or NDC. Nothing to do with NPP or NDC. It has to do with efficient government systems. People who are qualified and competent to deliver the job. No square pegs in round holes like we have had over the last 67 years of independence. Too much of that. Square pegs in round holes. People who are not supposed to be there are there. People who don't understand what they should do are doing this. And people who call communicators come on TV to come and insult J.A. Kufuor. That's all they know. They can't think any policy. They can't develop anything for Ghana. They can't add anything to Ghana. They subtract from Ghana. They give us bad language, bad culture, indecent behavior. Those are not the people that we should elect. We should elect people who have demonstrated over time that they have the competence, the expertise, the experience, the temerity, the discipline to move this country forward. That's what we need. Not people who come and stand there and tell an elder statesman that he's on a wheelchair. Who do you think you are? This is what we should celebrate. Let's go. Berkisu, how are you?
I'm good.
So where have you come from?
Kintampo.
Kintampo. What do you do there? That's where you work and live. Is that why you went to school?
I'm a native of Kintampo, a community called Babatokuma.
Can you give her a close-up? Thank you. You're a native of?
Kintampo, a community called Babatokuma.
Ah, wow. So you're a native from where? Are you from Wale Wale or you are from Sandema?
No. Originally, I'm a Gonja, so I'm coming from the Savannah region.
You're a Gonja?
Yes.
You have betrayed President Mahama. No. He's a Gonja too.
But politics is not about tribalism, so.
It's not, okay, tell me.
Yes. Politics is all about development.
Go to Gonja sometimes?
Oh yes, my daddy is a traditional ruler at Babatokuma. So I come from Babatokuma.
So the day you heard that you had been on Good Evening Ghana and you didn't watch, who told you?
But a couple of friends. So many people. As I'm here right now, they are sending me messages. Kisu, don't forget I was the one who sent you the link. Oh. Don't forget I was the one who sent you the message that you were on Good Evening Ghana. So many of them, you know, because of the social media, I have a few number of followers. So many of them did.
So did they script the thing you said for you?
Yes. People even sent me YouTube links for me to go and watch it. For real.
Yeah, I saw the spectacles and it sort of made a point, and I don't see it here.
Oh my God, I didn't come with it.
So when I spoke to you in Kintampo, I'm so sorry, I didn't know. I thought you were in Accra when I said come to the studio. Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
Ah, so how do you come to Accra? STC or by air? STC. Is Kintampo close to Sunyani? It is. Or it's wide?
I think it's 3 hours.
Oh, Jenny, that's long. That's long.
It's 3 hours.
Right. But who is the MP in Kintampo? It's NDC.
Kintampo has been a traditional seat of the NDC and yet zero development. Almost all the development.
I didn't ask you that. I just said that. Who is the MP at Kintampo? Is it NDC? Berkisu, is NDC?
Yes, sir.
Who is the MPP candidate for this election?
IMC.
Oh, the MCE. Yes. And that's going to be a tough contest.
Yes.
Is it going to be tough?
It is, because the NDC, our current MP, is feeling it already.
What's the current MP's name?
Jakala.
Jakala?
Yes.
He's the current MP, and the contestant for the MPP is called the DC.
Yes, the DC, Honorable Bafo Isaac.
Honorable Bafo Isaac.
Popularly known as Kola.
Kola. Everybody calls him Kola. Kola means cola or cola means money.
Kola. I don't know how come he has that name, but I grew up.
So how is Kintampo shaping up for December 7th? Campaign every day, campaign.
Funny enough, this time around you get stanch NDC members complaining that Kisu, we are fed up. We want to try something new.
Really?
Yes.
For the MP side?
Yes. And also the presidential.
Really?
Yes. And unfortunately, we have so many Gonjas in Kintampo.
Oh, okay. That's interesting.
We have so many Gonjas in Kintampo, but most of us, because of the development APP has done in our region and in our community, we would want to support and vote for MPP and Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia.
So you are voting for Dr. Bawumia?
Not just me.
A lot of you?
Yes.
Okay. On voting night, I'll call you and find out how the elections went.
Of course.
Okay.
Yes.
So you have to come back to Accra next week because I'm launching this book. It's a book on politics. So we are launching it next week. I'll invite you to come, and we'll get you here to come and sit and watch. And hopefully some ministers will be there. I'll introduce you to them. That this is our lady in Kintampo who is the nemesis of John Dramani Mahama. Have NDC people called you after that video? Your friends who are in NDC?
For that particular video, no. But when I started campaigning for the MPP, especially outside campus, the threats, the insults, people will meet you in town and the sort of abusive words they will use. But this time around, I think they've realized I've now developed a very thick skin. So
this threats and insults, how can we stop it in our politics? Behavior in politics. They have attacked President Kufuor. And John Dramani Mahama, Vice President candidate, Jane Nano Pokwajiman, all of them have not found anything wrong with this. None of them. You want to say something, Berkis?
People didn't allow me to speak my language.
Your language, yes. Say something. Say something in Gonja.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, look at the camera, yeah.
Mana, ntutu ana. Me kolokono no nchoro me kike kura anula. Mini PB, me isipuche, me baka skuma bariki sunde. Me kolomenye. Kafia buki biare minister ani work on the call and talk binsi Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Baumia. Mini nisne politics na ani bin kligi so na nya be work mo mun kini PB so. Na kalin kligi brana MPP ni Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Baumia boranya so. No nto me tro for Gani na me tro ask ma baba to bi me tro akma. And I would also want to use this opportunity to thank Dr. Gideon Boaku.
Yes.
He has been a very good father to me. And to wish him well in his elections. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you, Berkis. This is going on social media. What does it mean, what you said? I had vote for Dr. Baumia, but what else did you say?
I said, I greeted them, and I said, politics is all about development, not about family.
It's not about family. Okay. Okay. All right.